Would you be doing a small favor? Yeah, what is it? I need you to meet the Diamond Forge. This won't take long, I promise. Alright. Fair enough. Wait, is it upstairs? Wait, is it down or up? I'm confused. Oh, there it is. I have to wait. I just need you to stand perfectly still for a few minutes, alright? Okay, I'm just gonna stand perfectly still. What? What is it? Hi everyone, ready to go to work? No squirming. Oh, and you might want to close your eyes. Okay. You wanted my measurements? Why? Why did you want my measurements? You could have just asked me. Oh, wouldn't you like to know? All in good time. All in good time. No, wants everyone in the solar for a meeting. I don't know what it is, but he sent me. I think it is very important. Makes sense. Alright, let's go to the meeting then.
We're here. Did we miss anything?
Did we miss anything? Not really,
We would
no.
not presume to begin without you, Ida. Urianger has returned to the Waking Sands, but everyone else is now present.
Yes, but for what exactly? We all have duties to attend to, Alphino, so you may dispense with the preamble.
Thank you, Elise. It is the very subject of those duties which compelled me to call this gathering. Though the Warriors of Darkness no longer pose a threat, Eorzea's many troubles demand no less of our attention. And while I stand by the decision to approach each task as we see fit, I fear our effectiveness will ultimately be diminished should we continue to act in ignorance of each other's efforts. Thus, I propose we elect a successor to Minfilia. Not to serve as a fully fledged antecedent, perhaps, but as a coordinator of operations.
Is that all? Oh, then the decision seems clear. No one else has shown any enthusiasm for the role, and judging by your performance at our previous meeting, you would seem the perfect candidate. You always did have a flair for politics.
I did not mean to... That was not my intention. As my tenure as commander of the Crystal Braves comprehensively demonstrated, I lack the qualities required for such an office. I would much prefer to remain as I am now, a soldier in the field, so to speak.
Should none of our numbers step forward, must we then constrain some unwilling candidate to take up the position?
Well, based on merit alone, a certain adventurer would be my choice. Though I concede she might struggle to balance her new responsibilities with, let me see, slaying primals, thwarting legatuses, and feeding the orphan poor.
Thancred makes a good point. Any who would wear such a mantle would be bound by its obligations. Have we not become sufficiently familiar with each other's methods to act without an overseer? At present, I see no cause to so willingly limit one of our number.
Oh my goodness! Help! I need some help here!
Alright, let's go check that out. I mean, there's you around, Jay, right? Who are you?
Tataru, are you all right?
Me? I'm fine. It's this poor girl who just staggered in and collapsed on the floor that I'm worried about.
Narco! God, how did... Yashola! Please, you have to help her.
Kral, a hand if you would. Let us see about closing these wounds.
Now, we've staunched the bleeding, but it may be a while before you can move about again. Though having seen your wounds, I'm surprised you are still moving at all.
Thank you. My message. It was too important to delay. I took the shortest route I could, though I knew it was more heavily patrolled. As you can see, my efforts at evasion were not entirely successful.
Honestly, you're too brave for your own good. What was so urgent that you needed to fight half the Empire to get here? You could have been killed.
I'm sorry, Ida. I had good reason. But I imagine your friends are wondering who this bloody mess of a Mikote is. My name is Minago, and I belong to the Alamegan Resistance. I came to warn Ida and Papalimo about one of our leaders. A man who calls himself the Griffin. He's always been dangerous, but he's planning something new. Something reckless.
The Griffin, you say? I've heard the name. Rumor has it your man is eager to test his claws.
Aye, and on no easy target. He means to assault Belsar's wall from the Alamegan side.
But what does the Griffin possibly hope to gain from such an attack?
From what I understand, he wants the fires of war to spread to Eorzea. And for that, he needs to control the border with Gridania.
So, he means to spark a conflict between the Alliance and the Imperial forces stationed in Alamigo, to have Eorzea's armies aid in the liberation effort, whether they will it or no.
His plan is flawed. Even should the Resistance succeed in occupying the wall, they would not be able to hold it. Imperial reinforcements would drive them out within a week.
Be that as it may, if there is even a chance that this scheme could bring about an escalation in hostilities between Eorzea and the Empire, the Alliance must be informed.
Agreed. I shall depart for Limsa forthwith and seek an audience with the Admiral. Thancred, Uldar is yours. Alphino and Alize, make haste to the Twelveswood. and notify the Elder Seedseer of the danger to Gridania. She will duly call a council of the Alliance leaders, whom you must be ready to receive. You will be our voice in Ishgard. Explain the situation to Sir Emmerich, and encourage him to send an envoy. To Taru, Kryl, I leave the care of our injured messenger to you. See that she remains quiescent and her wounds closed. I believe that covers everything. Let us be about our tasks.
Are we going to allow me
I
to go after?
suspect the ill tidings from Girabania will be held as a turning point. The beginning to a bloody end. The business of war was ever conducted with the coin of self-sacrifice. 'Twas Master Louis Soir himself who taught us that such costs are not to be ignored or denied. And so, I shall embrace them. When the time comes, I will make my choice, as you will yours.
Alright then, let's go talk to Sir Emmerich. What brings you to Ishgard? Here, I will summon Sir Emmerich. Alright. What a pity. It must be under such circumstances had Lucia not informed me that nourishing your suit. I would certainly have sent me some wine. But to business, and thank you for bringing these developments up. Here we go. To our attention, Ishgard will be, of course, send an envoy to get the consul in Gridania. I cannot say who will represent us, however, as the choice is not mine to make. And none alone at any rate. Given the imminence of the threat, we may forego the formalities of a full assembly. But I will need to consult with the counterpart of the House of Commons prior to proceedings. Will you permit me some time to make the necessary arrangements? Sure. Thank you. A president whom we select will require civil escort. Make our preparations and inform Sir Hendelou that he is to lend aid in your absence. Yes, Lord Commander. Accompany Lucia to gates of judgment and make ready to depart for Gridania. Have our envoy join you as soon as we can. First speed on your way. Lucy seems eager to set forth for Gridania. If you have no other business in the city, join me at the gates of judgment. We must be ready to depart the instant the envoy arrives. Gates of judgment, let's go. Where's the exit? Oh, where the heck? Oh, there it is. I'm blind. Okay, it's over there. There we go. Again, as having my counterpart in the House of Commons agreed that I should act as Ishgard's envoy, and I can see that there was ever any real doubt. As Lord Commander of the Campaign, it is my duty to sanction any military cooperation. Be that as it may, I could not in good conscience make a decision alone, not with the ink scarce dry the reply of its local statutes. It trust you understand, my friend. Alas, I must test your patience still further. By making a brief stop at Camp Dragonhead, given the trouble ruining the Black Shroud, I would see that the garrison is ready to defend the border. You may seem to be a familiar face. Artoriel is now at Hartrafont's area. Hi, young girl, how wonderful is this to see? Sir too. To what do I owe these unexpected pleasures? Oh wait, is that Artoriel or Immanel? No, do not trouble yourself in our shall soon be on our way. Let's chat a brief summary, if you will. Yes, Lord Commander. Those villains hardly need an excuse to wage a war. Bloodletting comes as naturally as breeding to a Gogarl, I mean to an Imperial. Thus we shall strengthen our patrol as your suggest. We shall also be sure to communicate these developments to Lord Francel and the Observatorium. I see you have everything in hand. Carry on, Commander. Surprised to see yours truly at the helm. I'm good. You and me both, old girl. I doubt I'll ever feel worthy to sit where he sat. Hartrafont? Yeah, that's where Hartrafont used to sit. Yeah. And we can but play the hand we're dealt. With a little help from the veterans and Honrad's ceaseless chiding, I'm sure I'll muddle through. So are we not. Off to Gridania with you. Upon my duties, let us see her on several occasions. I finally am as an enraptured by Lashaw's beauty now as when I first set my eyes on it. Fear that this time, however, events shall not afford us the luxury of enjoying the splendor of the forest. Miss Armac is ready to attend the council. Alright, let's go. It seems we have to escort to the Lotus Stand. Pleasant place to discuss unpleasant matters, is it not? Okay, let's go. Let's go to the Lotus Stand. So we just find the Conjurer. Yeah, I know where that is. Very good. This way, if you please. Ah, and the lemon party, shall we, as well? Yeah. Oh, there's the commander, and you. I'd hoped to slip by unnoticed, but I see I was not the only one delayed in my arrival. Greetings, Sir. Admiral, always a pleasure. Yes, I trust you are well. This is a day for reunions, it seems. I believe you're well acquainted with my escort. Lady Pedros, I was glad to hear from Mariel that the missing sons have now been found. There's much and more I would discuss with you, but let us first attend to the issue at hand, shall we?
I bid you welcome, my friends. As you will by now be aware, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have come into possession of certain intelligence concerning recent developments in the region of Gyr Abania. It springs, I am assured, from an unimpeachable source. Is that not so, Master Alphino?
Indeed, Elder Seedseer. Our information comes directly from a member of the Resistance's inner circle, and we have no cause to doubt its veracity.
This Griffin of theirs is a fool if he thinks he can hold Belsar's wall against the Empire. When the Imperials move to take it back, they will come in force. And the resulting fighting is all but certain to spill over into the Black Shroud.
At the Battle of Cartano, the combined might of 3 grand companies labored to contend with the remnants of but a single Imperial legion. Alone, Gridania would be hard-pressed indeed to hold back the tide, should the Garleans turn their minds from reclamation to invasion.
May I once more convey my nation's deepest regrets for our inaction in the days prior to the calamity. 'Tis a stain upon our ledger that I would fain remove. Elder Seedseer, I do hereby request leave to deploy a defensive force within the borders of Gridania. Ishgard's return to the Alliance shall be honored by more than mere ink upon parchment.
The Doman people too would join any effort that weakens our common foe. We are few, but our most seasoned shinobi are at your disposal.
On behalf of my people, I offer you my humble thanks. Gridania welcomes your assistance.
It is time we set our contingency plans in motion. Is the Alliance agreed? Then let us make ready for war. Victory favors the swift, and there is much to be done.
The Council knows that Alamigo will not soon be wrested from the Empire, and its decision to bolster the border's defences seems eminently practical. Why then, brother, do you scowl so?
I agree that they have chosen the wisest course available. Indeed, the only reasonable one. Yet something feels awry. In making ready for war, is the Alliance not granting the Griffin the very thing he desired? Any attempt to hold the wall is doomed to failure, aye. But I wonder if we have misjudged the prize for which he plays.
The Council was able to reach an accord so swiftly. This heartening development in itself. I only hope my misgivings prove unfounded. Ah, good. You have yet to depart. I feared that I had missed you. Sir Emmerich. Mr. Alphino. Pleasure as always. And Mistress Alice, how wonderful to you to see. You thus recovered part of your attraction and hope to thank Helios for serving as our escort before other duties called away. I also wish to thank you, Doman ally. Forgive me, my lord. I was but awaiting an opportune moment to join the conversation. The force of habit made me keep to the shadows. Your apologies are necessary, Mistress Rugiri. I was not grateful for your interjection when I offered Ishgard support. I nation's historic failure to heed the Alliance pleas for aid is a matter of record. Even so, the Alliance leaders were plainly unprepared for my impromptu apology. The resulting era of awkwardness might have lingered longer were it not for your timely offer of cooperation, which allowed the Elder Seer to accept us both. I very much appreciate your gesture. I only did my duty, Sir Henrik. The Empire is an enemy to us all, and we are grateful for the opportunity to fight at your side. I'm full glad we too have you. Here convey my regards to Scions, my friends. We must return to Ishgard. Whatever is wrong with simple sorry or thank you, must the Spalshan always make a speech out of everything? This is how we adults speak, dear sister. You have the ones who like the sound of their own voice. In any case, our business here is included. We should be on our way then. We accompany us to Reverend's Toll, you agree? Actually, I think I shall first pay a visit to Shroud. I'm curious to know how Papli and Anita fared in their talks with the Sylphs, not to mention that what has been going on at Baelsar's Wall. I will join you at the Rising Stones. Welcome back. I don't know about you, but I'm heartily glad that all of the talking's over. I understand that these council meetings are important, but do you not find it tiresome to have to wait every word before you speak? I doubt I will ever feel home in the realm of politics. You know the change. If my brother's willing to ruin his own eyes, anything is possible. He seems eager to discuss the council's decision with the other Scions. Sure. As much as I enjoyed the Brotherhood Toll, I think it's time we headed inside. My brother and the others will not be long. And apologies, friends. I trust we have not kept you waiting over long. Greetings, everyone. Oh, Curly, how's Nago doing? She'll be alright, won't she? I don't see why not. She's sleeping in the moment. Tatara's keeping an eye on her, so we'll know soon enough if there's any change in her condition. Her wounds are healing well. With sufficient rest, I'm certain she will make a full recovery. Thank goodness for that. Now, I hope you would share with us the Council's decision. Each of the nations, Ishgard included, has committed to providing military support to Gridania. The Orcs Alliance will soon have a significant force in the Black Shroud, ready to respond to any Imperial act of aggression. No, I almost wish the Council would stop messing around and give the Griffin what he wants. I wouldn't like to be the Imperial caught between the Resistance and Alliance. Yeah, you cannot seriously. One does not lightly go to war with a Carolingian Empire. Right, to open all hostilities without due consideration would be to invite disaster. If only there were some way to reach the Griffin, some means to convince him to advance his reckless course. It may not be entirely unfeasible. There's a network of tunnels beneath the Baelsar's Wall. Secret passages dug by the Resistance to provide a way out of Aldemigo, which may equally serve as a way in. For Precisely. If all are in agreement, I would not be the one to undertake necessary negotiations. I'm familiar with the route, and the resistance is familiar with me. About as familiar as they are with me, you mean? See what you want? I'm coming too. I have some experience in the practice of infiltration. If you would have me in my service, at your disposal. As mine. It's been far too long since I shared a shadow with a shinobi, and I do not intend to waste the opportunity. Or is quite sufficient for an infiltration mission. Greater numbers will only serve to increase the risk. We'll return to East Shroud and stand watch over the border. Should matchers take a turn for the worse, it would seem wise to be on hand. It would not seem to be so thrilling of a duty. But I ask that you remain at the Rising Stone to pass on messages and so on. To hold the fort, you mean? Very well, I suppose the task must fall to someone. Safe travels, all of you. If you have any unfinished business in the 12, pray attend to it now. I will depart for the Hawthorn Hut without delay. The nearby watchtower offers an obstructed view of Balsamar's Wall, and I should be interested to speak with the Alliance commanders who have installed themselves at its top. Alright, fair enough. We'll go off and on near the Hawthorn Hut. Alright, come. Americ Spire awaits. Let's go. The Alliance officers on the platform will be able to praise us of any development at the wall. Nice meeting the two of you here. We were about to set forth. You know, as I want to say, 12 watch over you, but I doubt you have need of divine protection, even if you are venturing into new territory. Don't worry, Alpha. The Griffin better scuff of the neck before you know it. Do you make up your mind, Ida? A moment ago, you seemed ready to shake the Griffin by the hand rather than the neck. So which is it to be? It would be best to decide before we enter into negotiations. Trust me, Becca, I'll shake whatever needs shaking. The talking part I leave to you. I think I feel a headache coming on. Let's be on our way, shall we? Well, some things never change. Well then, shall we make for the Spire? Our Alliance friends will doubtless have news for us. Look, I'm Way of Light. I assume you are here to speak with our commanding officers. You will find them on the observation platform. Pray proceed. Greeting, my friends. It's good to see you both well. I was hoping you might turn up. I've dragged half of the watch here. See, the sight of you might help remind them why we bothered. If memory serves, I have not seen many of you since the day of the Grand Melee, having borne the brunt of your blows. And I say what an honor it is to stand at your side. It's heartening indeed to see the realm's most tower defenders thus gathered in common cause, being which were news from the Vaal. All has been quiet. Fire. It's on fire. Report weapons in house. Fighting has broken out on top of the wall. A full-scale assault? So the Griffin has made his move. Someone has. And what's that supposed to mean? The attackers. They're wearing Grand Company colors. Impossible, we have no such order. It was bait. We have been goaded into deploying our armies nearby, thus leading way to this deception. If those uniforms were convincing enough to deceive my scouts, the Empire would surely think we've launched an offensive. This could mean more. Even so, this may yet be no more than a diversion. If the armies of the Alliance are occupying the Empire's attention, it would be comparatively easy for the Griffin supporters to slip into El Amigo. Could then incite a rebellion amongst the populace, which the Imperial reserves would be hard-pressed to contain. Yours, meanwhile, would be plunged into chaos. So we must make for the wall at once. What, just the two of you? Our companions embark on a mission to sway the Griffin from his course. We're likely halfway to his command post by now. You'll emerge in the midst of a raging battle, and I do not mean to abandon them to their fate. It would be dangerous, with the confusion we work to our advantage. If we are careful to avoid the skirmishing, it may yet be possible to reach the Griffin, and if we can do that. Yeah, may I ask that you have an airship ready near the Scions to bear the Scions to safety? Oh, I don't know who this Lady Hilda is, Marshal, but you can count on me. We must prepare for Imperial reprisals. May the Navigator guide us through the storm. Claims to drive the Empire from Alamika, force action upon those who have turned their backs to our suffering for so long. Let this victory be the first step in the liberation of our homeland. Alamika will be free no matter the cost. Let's go. So that's the wall, huh? Well, probably to another trail ahead should lead us into the shadow of the wall. As we have no objective, I suggest we divide our forces. I shall make straight away for the tunnel and attempt to intercept our comrades before they stumble into a bloodbath. While I do so, I must ask that you scale the wall. No doubt I would not propose such a course if there were any other way, but the time for subtlety is past. Take a band of your most trusted companions and cut a path through to the Griffin, and make him see reason by any means necessary. Once we are free of the tunnels, we will make for our position with all due haste, and if everything proceeds according to plan, Hilda will then swoop in and spirit us away. On an airship, yeah, it makes sense. Bill Star's wall now accessible. Alright. It's gonna be a dungeon now. Looks like it's a dungeon. Belsazar, join. Oh, it's already ready. Let's go. There we go. Let's go ride let's ride the carpet. Armored weapon. Alright. Let's do this. What's this? Fuck. There we go. Armored weapon is dead. So yeah, let's go. We're gonna go over here, right? Ilberd. It was you, Ilberd. That's right, Ilberd was still alive. I forgot about that. Okay, so the Griffin is actually Ilberd. Good to know.
How'd you like these? Sloppy. I'll tear you limb from limb. Yeah.
Oh, we can't just do this? Oh, yes, I can.
For al amigo! I have you now. Yeah. How'd you like these? Sloppy. Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm not trying to creating feathers. I'm restrained. I'm not good.
Yeah. Yeah. Sloppy.
I'm just gonna keep using my own.
I'll tear you limb from limb. Yeah. Sloppy. For al amigo! I have you now. You've beaten me, aye. But you cannot stop what I've begun. Behold, a glimpse of things to come.
We did it! We showed the bastards!
Aye! Victory is ours!
And who knows, lads? Mayhap the Eorzeans will finally see sense when the enemy turns up on their bloody doorstep.
This is for Alamigo, for Eorzea. They die that others may live.
No, don't tell me he has a bomb. Don't tell me he has a bomb. Oh, Yu Hase is here too. Oh shit.
Vanguards! Attack!
Seven hells. Do you hear that?
War machines. How did they get here so quickly?
Stand your ground! For the resistance!
There's nowhere to run. We're cut off.
Gods help us! What were we thinking? The Empire's too big. Too powerful.
You don't say. You don't say.
Mighty Rhalgr, grant us the strength to crush out.
There you are.
As you can see, our infiltrators did not elude me for long. Lady Ugiri is sending for an airship even as we speak.
What do we do? This is a massacre!
How wonderful to see you, Commander.
Illbird. I should have known. This has to end. It has to end now. Do you not see your countrymen dying? Have your ideals rendered you blind even to that? Order the retreat, and we will help your soldiers to safety.
Retreat? With the moment of my triumph so close at hand? You truly are a sheltered child, Leveilleur.
Nidhogg's eyes. No abyss is too deep for you, I see. But trust me when I say that such power was not meant for mortal hands.
How long have I struggled to reach this point? My countrymen so inured to the taste of defeat, they no longer balk at its bitterness, shouting my throat raw with rallying cries, only to be greeted with dull eyes and blank faces. My brothers and sisters in Ulda have surrendered to their apathy and their appetites. Were it not for the glint of Lodorito's coin, I doubt even those here now would have answered my call. Take back our homeland! Free Alamigo! Ha! They'll happily mouth the words, but they won't spill the blood. You say no mortal should wield these eyes? Then I shall gladly become a demon. I will suckle on the souls of the hopeless and liberate the homeland they no longer deserve.
What exactly do you mean to do?
Did you hear their cries as victory was snatched away from them? Even with their dying breaths, they cursed the Empire. Never has their desire for vengeance been so raw, so true. A god has no need of faith when summoned by so pure a purpose.
Summoned? You cannot mean to fight the Empire with a primal! You know full well the danger, the futility of relying on such power!
Oh yes, I know their limitations. Which is why I will call upon a deity more terrible than the very black worm of the calamity itself.
What? Here? Now?
Like hells you will!
An ending to mark a new beginning. My pain, my longing, you shall have it all!
This light, is it...
His death completed the ritual. The primal is taking shape.
Well, can't we stop it? There must be something we can do!
There is one thing.
What? Hey! Where do you think you're going?
Master Louisoix briefly contained Bahamut by means of a potent spell of sealing. I will now attempt to do the same.
But that's impossible! We would need hours to collect the necessary ether, if not days!
Ah, Alphino, though I concede it may not always be apparent, I was ever your grandsire's finest pupil.
Timtimati, of course! The staff still holds enormous power, broken or not.
Don't you dare, Papalimo! I know how that spell works. It is time to leave.
Quite right. Quickly now, off you go. The further away, the better.
No! If you're staying, then so am I.
No, Ida. There is a path only you can walk, and it must not end here. Not like this. Take her! Please, you have to take her!
What? No! Damn it, Thancred! Put me down! Thancred!
This is one battle you cannot fight. Away with you! Go!
So Ilberd was trying to start another calamity. I'll stay with Papalima. You better not die on me. Oh shit, he forces me to go on his ship.
Hilda! I think he means now!
He pushed me to the ship. No, Papalimo. Fuck.
I bid thee farewell again, my dear Ida. Now, let us see how good a student I truly was.
Oh, that's one of the 12s, right? That's the 12s. He's calling upon the 12, just like Luswa did. He's doing just like what Luswa did in the trailer. Why? Why didn't they let me stay? Papillon was my friend. I should have been there with him. You could see it in his eyes, Ida. He knew what he was doing, what had to be done. Master Lusa wore that same look right before the end. You think I don't know that? I know, alright, I know. There's nothing more you could have done. Ilbert caught us all off guard. Even Pedios was powerless to stop him. If you must blame someone, then blame me. Just promise that you will never forget what Papalimo strove to protect, or the lessons he tried to teach. Don't speak to me. Leave Ida with me. Go on. Go back to Rising Stone. The others need to know what happened here. Complete with all the rising stone, alright. Would seem you bring ill tidings, brother. Aye, behind the griffin's mask we found the grinning face of an old adversary, Ilberd. I know not, but he had possession the eyes of Nidhogg, whose dread power he used to initiate a summoning ritual even as we looked on. By the 12. I don't understand. To attempt such magic requires every ounce of one's Aether. No one, not even grandfather, could cast it, hope to survive. Indeed, it was ever a last resort, as I am certain Papa Malima was aware. Just did the pupil follow in the footsteps of his master, even unto the grave. I have as yet been unable to explain how Ilbert came to possess Nidhogg's eyes. In the depth of the sea of clouds, a perpetual storm of water and wind aspected Aether rages. No mortal could endure such conditions. Then mayhap it was the work of Nashin, but now is not the time for idle speculation. Crilly, I have need of your assistance. Yes, of course. We must inspect the cocoon of light and ascertain the state of the primal trap within. Between our respective talents, I dare say we shall glean some measure of insight. Understood. I can't promise I'll be able to sense much through the barrier, but I shall certainly do my best. As I shall. Let us be about it then. What? Without so much as by your leave? Pray forget upon your stall of her brevity. She seek employment, lest her grief deprive her of the will to act. A desire to confront Ida doubtless compound her unseemly haste. I too must contend with the grievous loss in my own life. Mayhap I was so quick to judge. Surrounding to sadness and regret would be a poor tribute to Papa Wigmo's sacrifice. Quite, we must begin preparations to face Ilbert's accursed creation without delay. What time we have was purchased at too dear a price for us to squander it. Grim shall wait for news from Gardania seems to be talking to Toll on Elsa. I wish I had more to tell you, but the situation in East Shroud remains largely unchanged, meaning we still have no idea how long it will be before. A communication from Alliance, one moment. Oh yes, of course, our representatives will be present. My thanks. From Gridania, the council will shortly be reconvened. The alliance leaders have already begun to assemble. They wish to discuss the primal, of course. As of your Stola last report, the cocoon yet hung above the wall unchanged. Yes, but the Elder Seer doubtless shares our concerns about how long it will remain so. I'm told that Sid Garlon has been called in to add his expertise to proceedings. Wise decision. The more minds we have working on this, the better. Well then, I shall leave the Rising Stones in Tateru's capable hands and make haste for the Lotus Stand. Who are you?
A word, if you would, good sir. This place. It is within the realm of Eorzea.
You're an odd-looking fellow, aren't you? Still, takes all sorts, I suppose. This here's Vesper Bay. Thanalan's door to the ocean, as some folk like to call it.
Am I to understand from your answer that I have indeed arrived in Eorzea?
Eh? Yes? You're in Eorzea?
Ah! A plain response at last, and the one I wanted at that. My journey was not without its hardships, and I would sooner travel by land than put to sea again. You do not believe that so small a bark could bear me across the ocean? Such timid little sailors. I had but to set my course and set my jaw till I made port. Though, 'twould perhaps have been wise to lay down my oars a moment to sup on more than the spray of brine water. By the trembling of my limbs, I sense a brief repast may be in order. Nay, I will not hearken to the feeble grumblings of an empty belly. Duty comes before all.
Where is this guy from? Oh, he passed out.
Good man, are you all right?
Oh, Uranje saw him.
Thou art far indeed from home, friend.
Where do you know him, Uranje? Gonna go back to Gridania. Yeah, let's go.
Dear friends, pray accept my heartfelt thanks for your efforts in defense of Gridania's borders. I would fain dwell longer on my gratitude for the support of the Alliance, but the situation at Belsar's Wall demands that we forego such pleasantries.
According to our most recent intelligence, the cocoon of light that formed in the air above the wall remains undimmed and unbroken. After measuring the cocoon's etheric concentrations, Archon Y'shtola has confirmed the presence of a primal entity.
So we must assume that Ilbert's thrice-damned god is indeed trapped within. And what news of the Imperials? They're not like to ignore such a spectacle.
Sir, a Garlean airship was observed making an approach, but the vessel was destroyed when it drew near. The Empire appears to have made no subsequent attempts to reach the object.
The soldiers who witnessed the incident spoke of a lance of light issuing from within the cocoon, of an entire warship being reduced to smoking ruin in the space of a moment. Veterans of Cartano, meanwhile, likened the destruction to that wrought by the fiery wrath of Bahamut.
We could face another calamity.
So the Primal is awake then? Contained, yes, but for how long? We must destroy it now, lest it break free.
Agreed. There is, however, the small matter of how to get close enough to a being that swats warships from the sky as you would a bothersome gnat.
Is this truly so complex a puzzle? Or have you no stomach for the obvious solution?
What in the hells are you doing here?
A pleasure to see you too, Garland. Now, if you'd be so kind as to explain to these good people why you should be begging me for my assistance, that would be most appreciated.
Who is this man?
Oh, how terrifically rude of me. Nero Tolskeva, former tribunus of the 14th Legion of the Garlean Empire. These days, however, one might say that I'm something of a free agent.
What do you want, Nero?
I was getting to that. Although you already know what I'm about to propose, old friend. As you have rather belatedly realized, within that frail binding lurks an entity alike in strength to the great Bahamut, and the only force in existence which might conceivably contend with such a foe is the very creation which captured the Elder Primal in the first place. I speak, of course, of Omega.
Omega? That hulk has been gathering dust beneath the plains of Cartanal since the Allagans breathed their last. And none alive knows how to wake it.
I'm sorry? Do you understand who it is with whom you have the privilege of speaking? I'm Nero Tolskeva, Master Engineer. The mechanical genius who restored the Ultima weapon to full operational capacity. And as luck would have it, I am graciously offering you the use of my considerable expertise.
And what, you just expect us to accept? You're a fool if you think your deeds at the Crystal Tower are enough to win my trust, Nero.
Trust? You wound me, Garland. All those years studying side by side at the Academy, sharing both trial and triumph, we were countrymen once, you and I. But sentiment aside, have you a better solution? Or do you mean to send in your vaunted hero there, as you always do, and pray the world is not engulfed in flame? Let us approach the problem in a rational manner. Does not the fact that Omega slumbers in stasis point to the existence of some overriding technology? A means of control?
I would ask a question, if I may. Nero, was it not? In the event that we succeeded in using Omega to shackle the Primal in the manner you propose, what then would become of it? Do we not risk repeating the mistakes of the Allagans?
Omega is but a tool. How we choose to employ that tool is entirely up to us. Of course, if you would rather leave it buried beneath Cartano while you continue your petty squabbles above, then I suppose that is also your choice.
Spare us, Nero. The Seedseer's concern is a valid one. He who controls Omega wields the power of the gods, the very power which led the Allagans to destroy themselves.
And does it not fall to we engineers to prevent such misuse? What was your company's proud slogan? Freedom through technology?
A creed you follow, is it? What say you? Do we take this villain at his word?
Maybe. He makes a convincing case. No, but I'll keep an eye on him. He makes a convincing case, though.
He makes me grind my teeth, is what he does. But I suppose we don't have much of a choice. Would the Council be willing to entrust this matter to a pair of former Imperials?
Yes. The task of restoring the Allagan relic will be yours. But the responsibility for its reawakening must remain with the Council. Do we condone this course of action?
Aye. It would seem we do. Let the record show that we invest this contingent with the authority to enter Cartano and take command of Omega. Sid, I appoint you leader of the expedition. Scions, I would ask that you assign some few of your number to escort Master Garland and supervise the other one.
We should be happy to oblige. The politics of Cartano being what they are, I dare say our neutrality will prove useful in avoiding any unnecessary entanglements.
If I am not mistaken, Doma occupies a similarly neutral position. Might we not persuade you to join the expedition, Lady Yugiri? If you suspected any foul play from Nero, you would be welcome to kill him.
Oh my god, that's funny.
My blade is yours.
Sure, perfect.
Not a moment's hesitation, eh? You'll forgive me if I do not shake your hand.
He's trying to be a joker. He's like, I'm gonna make some jokes. Nero is a freaking joker, isn't it? He's like a jester, right? He's like a jester. He likes to make jokes they're terrible. It was a rather unexpected development, and one which raised a number of questions, not least among them. Nero chanced to learn of the council meeting in the first place. Alright, fair enough. Alpha was eager to join Sid and the others. Sid and the others are assembling at the airship landing. Elsa is already on her way and would not be to lag behind. Let us be off. Interesting. Outside of the airship landing downstairs, right? Yeah, go there. Just looking ready. Invaders have stepped into the landing for a moment. So we have started before landing. You let him? Despite his very timely offer of assistance, the taunt of the man posting on the work using this ship without proper supervision does not fill me with confidence. Calm yourself and know your sister was adamant that you would never leave her sight. And she and you agree are, well, they are down. Alright, I think that's everyone. Shall I set course for Carton now? Might I ask, we delay our departure slightly. They require no more than a few hours at most. Our colleagues are studying the cocoon as we speak, and I will hear their latest observation before we proceed. It would seem wise to gain as clear an understanding of the situation as possible before formulating our plan. Oh, I thought time was against us. How foolish of me. Hold your tongue. When you want your opening, I'll ask for it. Forgive me, my lady. I shall keep my counsel until such time as you have finished procrastinating. Right, while Alfino speaks with his colleagues, I shall fly the Excelsior over Mardona, and we can reconvene at the Rising Stone. My apologies for trouble. I shall visit your Strelta and the others forthwith and join you as soon as I'm able. As per company, I'll see back to Rising Stone. I should feel safer knowing you are present to entertain our guests. Alright, everyone heading to Mardona is welcome to travel abroad the Excelsior. Greetings with the girl at the counter. Let her know when you're ready to leave. So Nero is now helping us. Is Nero gonna become a member of the Scions? That would be funny if Nero becomes a member of the Scions. Traveling with Master Golem, yes. The Enterprise Excelsior is right this way. Yes. From Mardona, yes. Not quite towards our service, but I couldn't exactly land in the Toll's main square. Shall we join to the Rising Stones then? Sounds good. Let's go. You gotta go to the rising stone. Come on, let us in. Let us in. I hate how sometimes it takes forever for things to spawn. Like the entrance to a door or an NPC. We'll just wait. There it is. Let's go. Nerotelskaria.
So these are the fabled headquarters of the Scions. I confess I would have expected an order of self-proclaimed warrior scholars to surround themselves with the fruits of man's enlightenment. And yet there's not so much as a single piece of magitech in sight. It never ceases to amaze me how primitive you Eorzeans truly are.
Oh, I'll have you know that the Rising Stones is home to the very latest in magitech innovation. Wedge calls it the Mark 14 Thermocoil Boil Master, and it's the finest kettle I've ever had the pleasure to own.
We are returned. Well, Ida and I, at least. Ishtola and the others remained behind to continue their assessment of the binding magic.
There didn't seem much point staying just for that, so I decided to come back with Alphino. Papalimo bought us this time. We shouldn't waste it.
By your leave!
Who are you?
Good gods, that voice could fell a gigas.
This is the Rising Stones, domicile of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I enter at the invitation of one Lord Urianger. I spy you there, Shadow Walker. You always were a hard one to find.
Yugiri, do you know this man?
Gosetsu, why are you come to Eorzea?
In search of you, Yugiri. For days and nights did I row across the angry sea. I made port in good spirits, only for my own flesh to betray me over the trifling matter of an empty belly. Collapsed in the street like an unfed stray I was, until Lord Urianger came to my aid. Over a most welcome meal, we spoke of the plight of Doma, and I learned of our displaced countrymen's work to resettle this blighted land. 'Twas blind fortune that I was able to locate you so swiftly. But now we must make ready to depart. Our master languishes in dire peril, and Doma calls her daughter home.
It is not so simple, Gosetsu. There are obligations which bind me here.
You refuse? Did you mislay your oath during your flight from our homeland? The laws of hospitality must be honored, but surely the vow to defend your master demands the greater obeisance.
It was our master who bid me guide our people to safe haven by any means necessary. And it was the Scions you see before you who provided us succor and sanctuary when all others refused. Dire peril or no, were I to return without first repaying such hospitality, our master would cut me down at the threshold.
Mayhap that is so.
There is more. A crisis threatens all within this realm, Eorzean and Doman alike, and I go to play my part in its resolution. I will not bring shame upon our liege by abandoning my people or my duty.
How very noble of you. Now, in the name of honor, kinship, and, yes, practicality, might I suggest we get this expedition underway? Or would you rather debate the finer points of duty and leave Omega to the Empire?
The Empire? You, Giddy? You draw steel against the curse of Garlemald? Then why did you not say so? My blade is oath-bound to fall upon the ranks of the Imperials wheresoever they march. Lead on, Shadow Walker, and may the enemy tremble at our coming.
So wait, could I speak for you for a moment? Sure. Do you remember when I had you meet at the Diamond Forge and we ambushed you? Yeah. Is it because you have a new suit for me? Well, once I started working traveling outfits. I want you to have it before you left. Here. You can try it on right now if you like. Sure. What's the outfit? Oh my god. Okay, that looks pretty cool. I like the monocle. Assuming we measured correctly, the fit should be just right. Snug, but not too snug, if you know what I mean. How does it feel? It's perfect. You're not just saying that. Oh, I can tell how much this means to me, to have crafted something worthy of the Warrior of Light. It's, well, let's just say it makes all the practice worthwhile. Also suited in the Blood Pearl charm, so you know, bring you home, and may it always protect you. Sounds pretty cool. Scion's Adventuring Monocle. Okay, so it's a level 1 item. So it's a glamour, right? Now I kind of want to go equip this as a glamour set. Do glamour here, actually? No, god dang it. Greedy. His eyes shine, freaking determination. I'm free. Are you sure that's... I'm sure yes, I'm on time. See, I'm completely fine, but I'll feel a lot better if I'm doing something useful. Very well, I will remain here and continue coordinating our efforts with the Alliance. Alphino, mayhap you could return to Gridania and assist your Shulta tranquilly. Fine suggestion. The rest of us will form the Cardinal Expedition Party. Nero and I will focus on rousing Omega. Chaos and Yeda, our Doman friends, take care of the security. Take care of security. Yeah, sure. The XIV store is by the lake just outside town. We'll leave as soon as everyone's ready. Modona. I don't have farther will be in Cardinal before Gosetsu graces the deck with his dinner. Once there, however, we have best to be on our guard. Karlman might be ado to saying. Have your weapons ready, have your wits about you. Something tells me we're flying into a fight. Alright, let's go.
Now, where was that? Ah. I've enabled the teleporter. One brief jump and we shall arrive in Omega's control room.
How convenient. You've been here before.
Of course. It was no easy task threading a path through all the skirmishes. But how could I ignore the existence of such a fascinating toy? You may trust that my preliminary examination was suitably thorough.
Trust? Aye. I trust your appetite for technology.
I chased down a suspect airship, and who should I find but the traitor, Sid Garland. Searching for something, engineer? Something big? It's close, isn't it? It's like all my name days have come at once.
Of all the scouts the Empire could have sent. Take care of that brute, will you?
God damn it. Can't let Nero tinker around in there by himself. I'm sorry to leave you to it, but I dare say you'll manage without me. This clod has no idea who he's dealing with.
I am Gosetsu, Samurai of Doma. You will rue your choice of opponent this day.
Oh, this dude is awesome.
It's all over now.
Leave this to me.
With Zolan Seeds!
No holding back.
And opening.
I have you!
You watching, Pabalimo?
No retreat. No surrender.
Look upon a samurai of Doma!
This one'll sting.
Your defense is lacking.
It's my right to strike!
It's all over now.
Leave this to me.
There we go. Cutscene. Brenda, we have you outnumbered. Wouldn't it be the first time? Are you still playing with all those soldiers? I suppose I can do one more of my toys, but only if you promise to give it back. Sure.
Leave this to me.
Temporal stasis disengaged. All systems operational. Garland?
All clear on this side. It's waking up.
That's the Omega weapon?
Remarkable! Omega sensors immediately detected the presence of the cocoon, even at this distance. They must have been set to scan for sources of energy exceeding certain magnitudes.
I still don't see any means to control the machine directly. It seems to have been designed to act wholly autonomously. Once we release Omega, we can be fairly certain it will attempt to capture the Primal at Belsar's Wall. Assuming its mission is successful, our only option at that point will be to re-engage its stasis system and put it back to sleep.
And should the machine happen to misbehave, we'll simply initiate an emergency shutdown. I confess we don't yet have a complete grasp of its capabilities, but I'm certain the details will not elude us for long.
Well, I understood less than half of that. So, my question to you is, are we doing the right thing?
Oh, what do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah, what do you think?
All right. Step aside, Sid. Is this the thing I need to press?
Yes, that's the one.
You gave too much for us to waste this chance, Papalimo. So this is for you. And me.
Yes! Fly free,
He's
my
insane.
pretty.
Nero is insane.
Show us what you can do.
The launch sequence has begun. Omega is loose.
cool cinematic.
Huh? Omega has stopped transmitting. But that shouldn't be. I didn't engage the stasis system.
And what does this signify? I have little understanding of these contrivances.
The launch went exactly to plan, but all signals emanating from Omega have ceased. This may indicate any number of things, but we will need to join the Scions out in the field if we are to ascertain which one.
Right. I've ordered a malfunctioning beast to go to sleep. That should prevent any unfortunate mishaps. I suggest we make our way back to Gridania.
Omega destroyed the cocoon. Papalymo's spell is fading. It was bound to his ether, you see. And if the connection is broken...
Okay, what were those marks? Wait, wasn't that the Scion's tattoo? Wasn't that like the tattoo of the Scions? Because each of the Scions had like those neck tattoos, right? Why is Yida's tattoo disappearing? Yeah, why is Yida's tattoo disappearing then? Huh. I'm not sure why we lost contact with Omega, but I need to find out. Let's be on our way. Is it upstairs or downstairs? I'm confused. Oh, it's downstairs. It's functioning perfectly. Next, it wasn't. Makes no sense. We need to see what happened to ourselves and soon. How's the liberal man with much to say? Words can ill oppress how glad I am to see you all unharmed. When Omega came hurting towards the cocoon, everything dissolved into chaos. I have to see it. I have to see it with my own eyes. Wait, we must first. The other suit is expecting us. Or now, for now. Both sides and I will watch over her. You may safely attend to your meeting. My thanks, Yuri. The council will reconvene a short while ago. Let us make haste for the Lotus Stand. All there are eager to hear your testimony. Yeah, let's go see the council. That was pretty epic. What's within? My friend, fully eagerly have we waited your return. If you indeed could have discharged a duty entrusted to you, most humbly do we thank you for seeing it done. We're too kind, Elder Seedsir. As I recall, we as good as demanded the right to try, but tell me, how did the battle unfold? We succeeded in waking Omega Eye. We lost contact with the weapon shortly after it launched. From our position to control room, we were blind to all that followed. But words could do justice to such a scene. None my choosing, that much is certain, but I can give you facts. As Omega arrived, and from its midst rose a great dragon. The pair duly set about each other in the skies over Pure Abaddon. Primals might defy belief, and seemed the very heavens would be rent asunder by the force of its blows. And it wielded such magics as I have never seen, but hope never to see again. The battle raged on with no end in sight until both combatants were engulfed in a blinding flash of light. When the radiant failed, I saw a pair fall motionless from the sky, coming to rest somewhere on Almegan soil. I will not speak of the rest, but to my eye it seemed that each had landed a fatal blow upon the other. While most among us could think only of Bahamut when looking upon the primal's form, the Domans were heard to whisper the name Shinryu. It would appear that the being resembled a creature of far eastern legend, and we have found it convenient to refer to it as such. The Shinryu's fate, and indeed that of Omega, is yet unknown. We have alas no eyes on the dear Abanian side of the border. Which is why we have sent our main force, under the command of Marshal Tarupin, to capture the wall. With the Imperials in disarray, we have perfect opportunity to seek to secure Gardania's border and assess the aftermath of the impact, and I myself will join the Marshal and his men when the council is adjourned. Well, that explains a few things. I'll wager that flash of light coincided with our loss of contact. Lest you wonder, we quickly re-engage Omega's stasis system, so even if it has fallen to the Empire's lap, it will be of no use to them, save perhaps as a statue. Correct. Without me to guide their efforts, it would take them decades to decipher Omega's core functions, if they managed it at all. Such reassurance too much to calm their fears, yet the relic's fate is but one of the several concerns. Indeed, I humbly submit that the time has come for us to make contact with the Resistance and free out representatives in Garabania. Though Ilbert has forced our hand, it would seem only logical to seek an alliance, given the inevitability of Imperial retaliation. By working in concert, it is not impossible that Alamigo might finally be arrested from Garmmal's grasp. Be honest, I've already researched out the VTAR directly towards this but I wonder if we first take a small detour. There's still plenty of others have gathered at our merciless spire. Alright, let's go. Lie down. Lay on.
My friends, I cannot well express how glad I am to see you both unharmed. They say that Omega's clash with the Primal shook the very firmament.
Both of us decided that Omega's clash with the Primal shook the very firmament. Alright, fair enough.
You need not have worried. The battle took place far above the ground. We were able to observe in relative safety, though I'm given to understand that there were casualties on the far side of the wall.
It was like watching a nightmare unfold before our very eyes. Ilbert's primal manifested in the form of a colossal dragon, a being of pure violence. It burst forth from the cocoon with such terrible force.
That such a horror should spring from the eyes of Nidhogg comes as no surprise. Nor do I wonder at its form. Ilbert all but announced it in the moments prior to his death. Plainly, it was his dying wish to visit a second calamity upon the Empire.
And I am quite certain the abomination would have obliged had it not found itself outmatched by Omega. Gods! I am no stranger to the works of Alag, but even I was unprepared for the machine's furiosity. It beggared belief.
And how fares poor Ida in the midst of all this? Have you spoken with her?
She is up on the platform, lost in thought. We deemed it best not to disturb her, but mayhap she would welcome some company after all. Shall we?
Hello, Ida. How you doing?
The light's gone. It was all we had left of him.
Ida.
I don't blame anyone. I knew what was going to happen. I knew the spell Papalimo meant to cast would drain away his life force. I knew that it would only buy us a little time.
Oh, you took off your mask. So that's how Ida looks without the mask?
Ida, there is no need to explain.
But there is. I can't hide in Papalimo's little shadow anymore, and I shouldn't hide behind my sister's mask.
Wait, what? Wait, is this not Ida? Does Ida have a twin sister? Wait, since when were you
20
using
years
Ida's
ago,
mask?
on the day the Empire marched into Alamigo, I was still just a child, not even 5 summers old. My father had been one of the leaders of the revolution. He had fought to overthrow the Mad King, Theodoric. And my sister had fought alongside him. But she was strong and kind, and always knew what to do. But when the Garleans came, everything changed. My father went to war against them too, and I never saw him again. After that, I remember a lot of running. My sister dragged me for malms and malms until we came to the city of Sharlayan. That was where she met Master Louis Soir. He introduced her to the Circle of Knowing, and she eventually became an Archon.
She was your inspiration. Is that not why you took up her mask and her name? Or did you simply mean to continue what she had started?
You've known all along, haven't you? That I wasn't Ida.
Of course. We all recognized you at once. 'Twas Papalimo who persuaded us to maintain the charade.
It was silly to think I could fool you. I knew that even then, but I sort of decided not to know. Ida died 6 years ago, on a mission to smuggle refugees out of Alamigo. They say she was overwhelmed by Imperial soldiers when she stayed behind to save a little girl. She was so strong. There must have been a lot of them. I'm sorry for lying to you. My real name is Lise.
Lise.
When Papalimo brought me Ida's mask, it was meant as a keepsake, but I decided I wanted to be his new partner, to keep alive all the good that she had done. I didn't want to become Ida, exactly. At the time, though, I still didn't know who I was myself, and it almost seemed easier to play the role. Papalimo agreed to help, of course, but it was never what he wanted for me. He wanted me to walk my own path, and those were his final words to me. The Archon's mark he gave me is faded, and my last excuse along with it. So this is it. Whatever I choose to do from now on, I do as Lys. And I choose to continue my family's fight. I want Alamigo to be the country that Ida and my father always wanted it to be.
War is upon us once more.
Do you regret standing against the Empire? Would you have chosen a different road, knowing what you know now?
To claim that I never doubted the decision would be a lie. But I made my choice, and I have defended it with blade in hand ever since.
The battle continues, and our steel is needed. Come, Shadow Walker, we leave for the east, for Doma.
Surprised at least to remove her mask after so long, though she has scarce begun to come to terms with Peplo's loss. That one act made her plain determination to move forward. Why was she even wearing a mask in the first place? That's my question. Like, why was she even wearing the mask? And should she even falter, we shall be there to support her on this road. She has resolved to walk. Let us return to Rising Stone. We have quite a story to tell Tatter and my sister. Yeah, we have quite the story.
Children of the land, do you hear?
Oh man, so this is the ending of Heavensward, right? This is the true ending of Heavensward. After this, it's gonna be Stormblood, isn't it? I don't know if I'm ready to start Stormblood right away. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna start it right away. I'm not gonna start Stormblood right away, because Heavensward was a giant journey. Heavensward was a pretty big journey.
One soul's cry, a passion welling within. Sacrifice, a final plea to her kin. Yet this bond of hope by treachery was broke, scattering her words to
Yeah, these are the voices for all the... Yeah, this is the voices for all the different languages, right? Yeah, the Japanese names are probably the Japanese voices, obviously. It's hard to know which one's the English voice actor, because one of them is the English voice actor. What was it? There's a French, Japanese. I know there's a French voice. There's French voices, right? There's English voices. There's Japanese, French, English, and what was the other language? French, Japanese, English, French, and which one? I forgot what the fourth language was, because I remember the language options. There's 4 options for language. There's Japanese, English, French, and Sebastian. That's probably the French one. I'm pretty sure there's a French. Benoit Pack. Yeah, that's French. That's probably the French person. So it's English, Japanese, and what's the other one? There's French and another one. Let's continue this. This is the ending of Heavensward. Now let's talk to Alice and finish this. Ancient but often surprised me. You say it's chosen past for France which can give support. While the alliance is taking the wall, we'll have little choice but to fight. Which is not to say the cause is unworthy. For all ignoring the plight of those whom it's correct for them to join the hands. Please. Oh, cutscene. This is an after credits cutscene, right? Quick march, the Emperors will soon come to their senses. We must be ready to face their retribution. It is almost time, Father. I almost stand firm, Pippin. I learned to brace myself against the charge of the bull of Alamigo. No foe will dislodge me. Very well, Ilberd. I will take our homeland back. For the both of us. So now Roban wants to take over Alamigo. There you go. He wants to take back over Alamigo because of Ilberd. And that's the Empire's throne. My Lord Viceroy, our scouts have confirmed the preliminary reports. Belsar's wall has fallen to the Arzen Alliance. The hunt for Omega and the unknown icon continues, though both yet elude us. Their battle caused considerable damage across the region. Should we perchance divert some of our forces from the search and undertake necessary reconstruction work? Forgive me, my lord, I do not intend. Your will be done. Oh no, my spies tell me that the Domans call it Shiryu, that it proved a match for Omega. Yes, the coming days promise to be most interesting, most interesting. Whose face is that? At the far edge of fate, the road begins anew. The heroes look to the eastern skies and behold their crimson dawn of liberation, a gathering storm of blood. A storm of blood. Storm blood. Oh, I get it. It's a storm of blood, so it's called Storm Blood, right? Alright, so we finished Heavensward. Next time we will start Stormblood. See you guys next time on FF14 Stormblood.